Go.
Alright, now I'm going to go over some of the more basic features of this grow unit. First off, when you come in, you'll notice there is a air curtain above the door. This will help blow out any pest or unwanted spores from entering your grow room. After you come in, you will see that we have a sink here for washing your hands and tools. We have the RO filter located next to the sink. There is a valve here to turn on and off the RO filter. You'll probably leave it in the on position. And then once the water goes to the filter, it goes all the way down along the wall towards the reservoir. In addition to the RO filter over here, you also have a nest for a CO2 tank. Here you can hook up your CO2 tank, connect it to the regulator, which goes up and connects to the ducting and distributes CO2 evenly throughout the growing container. Now I'll talk about the ducting. It's a nice ducting from the Netherlands. As you can see, it inflates and blows cold air out the side and really gives nice, even airflow throughout the unit. And to help with airflow directly on the plants, we have these vortex fans that are connected to like a little air curtain that we made. It goes down the length of the row and blows air directly onto the plants. Over here you will find the dehumidifier. The dehumidifier can be programmed two ways. One, by just using the regular settings on the dehumidifier. The other way is to program your grow link, what humidity levels you want on your grow link. And when the humidity falls within that range, it will remotely turn on and off the dehumidifier. The dehumidifier has a drain line, which can be used to either fill up the reservoir. If the reservoir is full, the drain will automatically redirect the water out of the unit through the drain that goes along the floor. Coming down the rows, you will see that we have 5 tiers of rows on each side. Each row has 6 channels in it, capable of holding 15 plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Each row has a valve so that you can turn on and off or dim the water pressure as you like. You can hear that noise. It's the air and water going through. Each section has its own valve as well, so that if you would like to harvest one section, you can turn off the water here without interrupting the growing of the rest of the unit.
Nice. Go.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the reservoir. The reservoir is the heart of any hydroponic system. It's where all the nutrients meet and recirculate and come back to. So this is our reservoir here. It's about 40 gallons. It has 2 pumps. These pumps supply the water to the system. The left pump is for the left side of the container. The right pump is for the right side of the container. You'll also notice there's 2 air stones controlled by an air pump here, where you can dim the pressure on and off. There are also 2 water inlets. One is for the reverse osmosis water. There is a water line that connects to a valve here that goes all the way back to the sink. This will refill your reservoir as you use water. In addition to this, we've also added an inlet for the dehumidifier water. So now you can reclaim the water from the dehumidifier into your reservoir. If for some reason you don't want to use the dehumidifier water, no problem. There's a little valve right back here that you turn off, and now the dehumidifier water will go straight to the waste stream. Another feature about this reservoir that is worth pointing out is that it has an overflow drain. This little pipe here is meant to collect any water that is, for some reason there was an emergency circumstance like a power outage and all the water will return to the system. Instead of overflowing onto the floor, it will go out this hole here and down out the drain. some other features of this reservoir are our water chiller. Just a little pump in here that circulates water through a chiller. This will help keep your water cool as it gets warmed up by the ambient room temperature. Ways that you can monitor the reservoir are with this GrowLink system here. GrowLink makes a lot of great grow room automation controllers, and this is their reservoir controller. It comes with several sensors, including a temperature sensor, a TDS sensor, a pH sensor, and a little float valve here to tell you in case your water level is low. With this GrowLink controller, you will be able to program the exact requirements that you want for your hydroponic system. If you want the pH to be between 5.8 and 6.0, the GrowLink controller, using these probes, will activate these two dosers. These two dosers can be hooked up to nutrients or pH adjusters, and they will come on and off to adjust your pH using whatever settings that you program into the GrowLink, which I will show you here. So the first thing you want to do is download the GrowLink app. Once you download the app and connect your GrowLink controller, you will get this. A nice display of the reservoir temperature, the pH, the dissolved nutrients, and the float valve to indicate whether or not the water level is high or low. Currently, all the sensors are in a productive casing, so that's why it's reading 0 EC, and the pH is not 9.4. That's just the liquid that's inside the probe to keep it protected. So once inside the GrowLink, you can go to rules. You can add a rule. You'll pick your you'll pick the doser, and then you'll assign the pH range. So here you have your two dosing pumps. You can turn them on. Turn them off. And from here, you'd be able to program whatever rules that you wanted to have them follow.
Cool.
One more thing about the reservoir that I really want to mention that's a nice feature to it. In between grow cycles, when you want to switch out your water in the reservoir and clean it, there is a valve right down here that you can open that will drain the reservoir out to the main drain. Now I'm briefly going to introduce the GrowLink environmental controller. What this does is it controls all the devices that regulate your environment in your grow room, such as your lights, your CO2, the humidity levels, the heating, and whatever peripheral thing you would like to plug into it. What we have plugged in for this unit is your left lights, your right lights, your top row lights, your AC fan, the compressor, and the heating unit inside the bar air conditioner, as well as the CO2 and the dehumidifier. To activate your GrowLink, you're going to first download the GrowLink app on your phone. Once you have the app downloaded onto your phone, you will come to the controller. You'll find two buttons here next to this flashing green light. You're going to hold down the button on the right until it flashes blue. This has put your controller into listening mode. Now you'll be able to go into your GrowLink app, under settings, connect to controller, and it should bring up this number here that identifies the GrowLink controller. This one is U3N4. Once you find it on your GrowLink app, you will connect to it, you will enter your Wi-Fi password, and then you will be connected to your GrowLink controller. Once you are connected, you can go in, find your devices, and then you can label them, like this one. These are all the devices in our Unit 2 farm. You see we have lights, CO2, a dehumidifier, a fan, and a compressor. This unit also comes with a heater. We live in Arizona. It doesn't get too cold. controller.
Action.
Okay, now I'm just going to show you how the system runs once you have water plugged into it. So here we have the sink. We have water flow. Here we have the short section, which is the farthest away from the reservoir. You can see we have flow. Over on this side, it's also the farthest section from the reservoir. See, we have a good amount of flow. Voila! And then coming down here, you can see what the reservoir looks like in action. So after you turn the reservoir on, it will sink to this low of a level. That's when you come in, turn on your RO. And now you see the RO is filling. You come in, turn on the dehumidifier line. And now you'll have a little bit of water coming out of your dehumidifier. And you just let the system refill.